Good Wednesday morning Kickstarters, and welcome to Morning Kickstart. I'm excited that you have decided to show up this morning, invest in yourself, and hopefully take something from today's episode and invest in others. My name is Andrew, and I'm your host of Morning Kickstart. I come here every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to help you put some positivity and encouragement into your life and hopefully help you even challenge or change your thoughts. So it's midweek, and when it's midweek, we've already been through Monday, which is normally pretty difficult. And sometimes we go through Tuesday, which sometimes I refer to as Second Monday, because it can sometimes be very difficult as well. So the question is, what are we going to do to flip the switch on midweek to try to push ourselves to get back on track, to kind of re-engage in what is going on in our life, kind of take control of what's going on? Now, I will tell you, for me, the thing that has continually come into my thought process is overcoming obstacles. This week in my book has been obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. We have kind of taken on some other projects that we weren't expecting to take on this year. We have taken back over some property management of some properties that we have, in the process of starting another company this year. And then with the projects that I currently have going on, you know, sometimes things just go sideways. Sometimes those projects are on a mountain and sometimes they are in a valley. But the thing about it is I myself have to figure out how to overcome those obstacles in order to move forward. So for an example, on one of the projects we've got right now, we had a piece of land that I was looking to sell. We had subdivided it into lots, and the piece of land that we had, the easement, which is where we would drive through the ingress, egress out of the property, was actually about 135 feet south of what it was supposed to be, according to the survey. So we had already put all of the information in, submitted the plat, and everything had been done, but the actual easement for the property was in the incorrect location. So I had spent the day, you know, trying to figure out where it goes, trying to figure out the process. And I'm not going to lie to you, when that obstacle first came into my thought process, the thought process from then on out was, what am I going to do to move forward? Because there's only one way. It's either we're going to fail and go backwards, which sometimes that does happen, or we're going to figure it out and move forward. Now, failure is a key essential part of our life and what we're going to do. And honestly, it was kind of a failure on my part because I didn't catch it in the first place. So I could have either blamed it on someone else or taken authority of it and just said, you know what, this is my fault. This is an obstacle that I created. And I have to go around it and figure out how I'm going to fix it. So what did we do? I went out there and measured it. We got everything back together. It's going to be all resubmitted and it should be totally fine. But at the moment that had happened, at the moment that it took place, it was kind of overwhelming. So how do we navigate these obstacles in our life? How do we come to the point of saying, I can make it through this? There are things that I can do to move forward, and get to the other side. Because here's the thing. We've all been through obstacles in our life. I know that you have as well. Listen, I've been through family members dying. I've been through business relationships gone sideways. I have been through real estate deals that never made it to the end. I have been through relationships that I thought were going to go to immaculate places that ended up going nowhere. So it's all a part of our life. We are always going to be taking on obstacles in our life. But the question is, how are we going to adapt to those obstacles? So that's kind of what I want to talk about today. And I will tell you, the one thing that I have learned about going towards obstacles is staying flexible. You have to be able to adapt in any different situation that you're going through. You are going to have times to where something's going to cost more than what you thought it was going to cost. Or you're going to have times where you have to lay something down when you know it just isn't going to work. And, you know, I heard something this morning. I was listening to actually another podcast through Brendan Burchard, and it was just a really good podcast. He was talking about how we look at our lives in in a monetary value and how we're rich in a monetary value, but also how we look at our lives as we are rich in our personal lives. And when we look at it that way and we think about where we're going in life and we think about staying flexible, we have to understand that sometimes there's things in life that just aren't going to pan out in our life. But when we look at our life and we say, am I going to take this and am I going to let it decrease my level of richness in my life? Or am I going to keep moving forward? Am I going to stay flexible? And am I going to adapt? And my life is going to be rich no matter what happens. You know, there's going to be times in our life where we have businesses that fail. I was listening to another guy and he said, I had 9 businesses that failed before I ever had a successful business that hit. And I've had a person tell me myself that all you do is create failing businesses. He was exactly right. I created a lot of them until I hit what I needed to. And the success took off from there. And I've been able to grow a real estate portfolio, a real estate company, multiple different things, all because I've learned through the failures. You know, I always say that flexibility, that being able to be adaptable, it's a part of our lives. It's a part of our business. It's how we overcome obstacles. So are we going to let that, decrease our level of richness in our life? Are we going to let these failures, and I've failed many times and I've overcome. I've got around those obstacles. And I've had people in my life, and I'm sure you have as well, but I've had people that said, I told you so. I told you were going to fail. And you know what? They were right. I did at the time. But we have to figure out how to overcome those obstacles and grow from them. Have that flexibility in our life. The best lesson is a learned lesson. Sometimes you have to go through whatever you're going through right now, and it could be anything. It could be, a fight in a relationship. It could be a business deal that you're trying to work through that you've never done before. It could be just like me, subdividing land and figuring it out and not knowing how to do it. I met with an engineer today. I've never done that before. So we have to go through these lessons and learn, and that's how we overcome obstacles. Because if we never go through it, how do we expect to go through it again and know how to get through it? Because you're learning every time you go through those things. And I will tell you this as well. When we talk about overcoming obstacles and we talk about moving forward and getting things done, the best way to overcome an obstacle is to take action. I have never met a person in my life who has not taken massive action and moved their life forward. Even when they hit a speed bump in the road, they are still taking massive action in moving forward. Listen, I could have let this whole deal with the survey and the easement being off, I could have let that stop me from moving forward and pushing forward, but I didn't. I did not let that do that. Listen, I'm in the process of opening another business right now. And in this business, it has a lot to do with the FDA, and you have to go through a lot of different steps. And the first thing that I thought to myself is, I don't know how to do this specific part of the business. And I want to tell you what it is, but I can't because I'll let it go. And I'm trying to prove it, get everything together before I launch it. But there was a part of the business where I said, I do not know how to do this. I do not know where to go. I do not know how this works. I do not know the beginning step. So you know what I did? That was obstacle. Boom, obstacle right in the way of my plan as to where I was going to go. But you know what I did? I did not let that stop me. First, I went to Google, started searching a bunch of stuff. Then I went to YouTube, started searching a bunch of stuff. Then I went to people that I knew in the industry that might have a connection. I started messaging them, see where I could go from there. Got some contacts, put it together, started calling people. Hey, is this going to work? Is this going to work? Is this going to work? What does this look like? How do I get this done? I've never done this before, blah, 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 blah. And I just continually started to move forward. Massive action. If there is one thing that you need to do this week, and we are in midweek, and if there is one thing that you need to do to move forward and to get over an obstacle and to, get over that hump of Wednesday and to get going for the rest of the week, is take massive action. That is the only thing that you need to do. Laziness will get you nowhere. Laziness, sitting around, blaming other people, malice in your heart will get you nowhere. You need to be taking massive action every opportunity that you get, if you have an obstacle in your way and you cannot get around it, figure it out. Move forward with it. Figure out a way. Ask someone else that may know the answer, even if you don't know the answer. Take massive action. And this is the last thing I want to talk about today because I'm about to run out of time. I'm trying to keep it around a specific time period. Is the last thing that you have to do is and this one is tough for me, you have to believe in yourself. And I know you're probably saying, Andrew, that is the most cliche thing I have ever heard in my life. But I am telling you, believing in yourself to move forward, to overcome obstacles, believe that you can get around it. Believe that there is light on the other side of the tunnel. Believe that you can make it up the mountain. Listen, I was exercising this morning and I was exhausted. I was so tired. Yes, my life is not roses and daisies every single day. I don't just get up at 5 a.m. and, woo, this is so much fun. No, I don't do that. I was exhausted, but I believed that I could make it to that next destination. I could make it another mile. I could make it up that hill. I could make it. I could make it. I could make it. And it's all in your mind, believing in yourself that you can do whatever you set your mind to is an integral part of getting over these obstacles. In your life, you are going to have people tell you, I have had multiple people tell me, and listen, I've also had multiple people tell me that I can do amazing things, that I've got a huge future ahead of me. I've had that, but I am telling you, the naysayers and the haters and the people that you are going to have in your life, it's always going to be there. And you can either let it affect you, or you can take it and you can use it as steam to move forward and to push your train down the tracks. And you have the opportunity to do that, but you have to believe in yourself. That's what you got to do. You've got to believe in yourself. So listen, we're all going to have obstacles in our life. We're all going to have a lot of different things that go on that are going to make us feel like we can't push forward anymore. But as long as we are staying flexible, as long as we are learning those life lessons, as long as we are taking massive action and we are consistently believing in yourself, say, I can do it. Listen, I've got my purpose statement right here, and I'm going to read it to you because I want you to hear it. And I want you to, and listen, I print them off on a big sheet of paper, and I hang these all around the place. So I recommend that you do this. If you're not watching on the video and you're looking on the podcast, you can go to our Facebook group and take a look at this as well. But your purpose statement is what is going to make you believe in yourself because you are reading it all the time and you are pushing forward. So I want to read you my purpose statement. The purpose of my life is to be excited about every day, being a beacon of light in the world, generously sharing my life and keeping a positive mindset so that others can have a fulfilled and purposeful life that they love. Listen, you have a huge future ahead of you. It is midweek, and you can crush the rest of your week only if you believe in yourself. Only if you take these things that I told you today, you overcome the obstacles and move forward. I believe in you. I will tell you, myself 5 years ago, I needed someone to tell me that they believed in me. I believe in you. I know that you can do it. Only if you can set your mind to it and you can push forward, you can overcome these obstacles and believe in yourself. Hey, I want to thank you for coming to Morning Kickstart today. I want to thank you. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. It's so fun to be able to share this with you. And I know that you're going to be able to move forward in your life. I want you to take something from today and apply it to your life, and take something from today and share it with other people, because this is how we grow with others. This is how we push ourselves outside of our limits to hit these goals that we've been looking to. This is how we get over midweek and we move forward. So, hey, I want you to invite someone to Morning Kickstart today. If you're in our Facebook members only group, I want you to go up to that invite button and just invite 10 people today. And if you're listening on the podcast, just share this with someone, just shoot it to them in text message and say, hey, I really think that you could benefit from this today. Hey, I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday morning, everyone. And as always, oh, I forgot one thing. I cannot forget this. I want you to remember, You can do hard things. You were made for more, and you have a purpose. I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday, Morning Kickstarters. And as always, thank you for being a part of Morning Kickstart.